welcome to Aging Well in America. I'm Marie Gattari, your host. Every day, 7,000 people in the United States turn 65. There are approximately 5.5 million people today who are 85 years old or older. Within the next under 40 years, that number will grow to 20 million. 20 million people will be older than 85 years old. Are we ready? Is America ready? There is so much good work going on around the world, around the country, and right here in our community. And today, we have a special treat. We are going to show you some of that great work in the form of Tai Chi exercise. I'd like to welcome to our show James Ellis, Rosemarie, and Elaine Frost. Elaine and James, you are our instructors, and Rosemarie, a star pupil. So I would like to start with you, Rosemarie, if I could. Tell us how old you are.
I'm 83 years old.
And how long have you been doing Tai Chi?
4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years. Tell us about some of the benefits. You were telling me earlier, you just feel a little better, a little stronger physically. How
Yes,
does it
I
benefit?
do. I feel more limber, more loose, and I can continue doing things much longer. And I have trouble with my right and my left, and that's getting better too.
And mentally, we talked too, you feel like it's keeping you real sharp and focused? And
Yes, very much so, yes.
So you drive, you take care of yourself, you actually even take care of another senior you mentioned.
Yeah, I have a part-time job. I drive a woman around.
Yeah, that's great. How often do you go to Tai Chi class?
Once a week.
Okay.
I wish we had more classes.
Maybe you can get some private classes. Elaine, tell us a little bit about Tai Chi, generally what it is, why the benefits.
Tai Chi is a Chinese martial art, and through the years they found out it has immense health benefits for all of us who simply do it for our health and enjoyment. Among the health benefits to adults of all ages are improved balance, improved coordination, leg strength, which is extremely important to seniors and elderly people to improve their leg strength.
Sure, absolutely. James, you were telling us a little bit earlier about how it has, in your practice, it has actually improved your gait and how you walk. Tell us a little bit about that, and then I'm going to ask you to get up and show us.
Okay. When I first started taking Tai Chi, I had all kinds of health problems, and that was what attracted me to the Tai Chi. I'm a diabetic. I also am hypertensive. I've been taking all these medications and the doctor said I had to have some exercise. So I said, well, I'll go to a program that will help me do that. When I arrived, the teacher said, your gait is a little different. So if you indulge me, I'll get up and show you.
Yes, please do.
When I would walk, my feet were splayed out like this. And I was continually walking this way.
And why is that bad?
And that is bad because all of your weight is on the wrong side of your feet. You tend to wear out your shoes on the outside. In addition, the weight is not evenly distributed over your ankles, your knees, and your hip joints. If the way that I walk now, I walk continually straight, my toes have come all the way in, and that's totally different than the way I used to walk before. In doing that, I now have all the weight over my ankles, over my knees, over my hip joints, so it's evenly distributed, so it's easy for my pelvis to manage all that weight.
And you're not having wear on your knees. Go ahead, Elaine.
Anne-Marie, if I can show you, honey, if you would stand up. You always want your knees to bend directly over your toe, so that if the foot's in a different position, the knee has to go over the toe. But when you're walking forward, you want your knee and the toe to be going in the same direction. This is very bad if the knee is this side or that side. And Tai Chi, if you practice Tai Chi in a class over time, you'll get the knee in the correct position, and it's very healthy for the knees. In fact, all the joints in the body, Tai Chi, it's one of its biggest health benefits for adults of all ages.
We didn't talk about this earlier, but I wonder, do you know instances of when Tai Chi has maybe saved somebody from a knee replacement, a hip replacement?
Oh, yeah.
It's difficult to say that it has, but I do know that a number of our students have unfortunately tumbled and have not injured themselves, because not only are you getting your knees correct and your hip joints are getting good shape, you cause more mobility in your hip girdle. So you're more childlike than your years, your chronological years would suggest.
So if you do fall, you're falling softer, you're not
Yes, more
hitting
relaxed.
more relaxed, and you're not quite as afraid of it. Rosemarie, when you go to class, what's it like? What do you feel?
Oh, very comfortable. And the first thing you do is practice the walk. And then the teachers begin to teach us.
When I was watching you demonstrate a little earlier, it occurred to me that it was very like balletic. It seems so soothing and calm, and that's intentional. There must also be some mental aspect to that and benefit. Talk to us about that.
Once you learn the form, and we will demonstrate the form today, once you learn the complete form, which has 108 pieces to it, and you learn it quickly enough, and then you learn it over an extended period of time so that you're comfortable doing this, it really becomes a meditation, because you're doing it this nice slow way. You're focusing on all the things on the inside instead of all the problems you have outside. And it really does, at the end of this practice, it increases your energy, it increases your calmness. I've always had a better feeling at the end of doing the form than when I started.
Sounds a lot like yoga.
There are aspects that are, and even when you start as a beginner, and I think Rosemarie will attest to this, when you start, you are so concentrated on learning how to walk, learning the first few moves of the hand form, learning a little of Qigong that we'll show you, that you're concentrating, and that focus necessarily takes you away from your everyday concerns, and it's a very healthy relaxation that occurs from the beginning, and as Jim's pointing out, it improves. The more you do it, the more relaxation benefit you receive.
Do you practice every day?
Yeah.
Yes.
Together?
No.
Separately? No.
Our schedules are
Too
so hectic,
crazy.
other than class.
How much space do you need to?
About this much space.
It's and it can be done. You can actually do a number of forms in one space, but to do it the full way it is, you just need the space of this entire platform.
Yeah.
We're going to see two different forms, two different types in a moment. Tell us
One will
what
be
we're
a
going to see.
sample of the hand form. That's the Wu style hand form, the square form it's called. It has 108 motions, and Jim and Rosemarie are going to do a couple of the first forms from that. Then we'll also, Jim has already done a little bit of the walking. If you want more of that, we can do it. And then we'll do some Qigong. And Qigong is even more like yoga because it's about 4,000 to 5,000 years old, and it's energy work. It helps you on posture, and the more you do it, the more energy you cultivate in your body, which is, of course, good for your vitality and all of your internal organs.
Have you seen the popularity grow? Like yoga is almost, all the craze right now. Is there more and more interest in Tai Chi? Are your classes growing?
There is much more interest, and there are many articles in many distinguished publications Speaking of the health benefits, and we frequently have people come to us and say their doctor has recommended. One gentleman said, my doctor said I need to take a yoga, Tai Chi, or Pilates. And so I said to him, well, at least you chose the martial art.
That's great. Okay, well let's do a demo. Before we do, I'd just like to touch a little bit about on the origin. You mentioned it's 4,000 or 5,000 years old.
The Qigong is 4,000 or 5,000 years old. The Tai Chi form that Jim and Rosemarie will demonstrate is about 1,000 years old.
Boy.
And
it's just a baby.
It's done all over the world by those who practice this Wu-style Tai Chi. So if Rosemarie goes to Singapore or Tel Aviv or London, she can go to a Wu-style class and say, I'm a beginning student, and she can continue practicing and learning this form.
And the origin also is in China.
In China.
And any background you can give us on that? What brought it to life?
It started up in the Wudang Mountains with the monks that were there. They had to come down from the mountain to go to the market, and they had bandits down there, and the bandits were harming and killing them all, so they had to figure out some way so that they didn't get killed. And they developed this system to be able to defend themselves, because they could not have weapons. All they could have was a staff and their hands and their feet. So they developed a system to be able to take care of themselves.
Interesting. And from that, it has evolved into a form of meditation and movement.
That's right.
Yes, in fact, back in the 13th century, there's whether historically accurate or just mythology, there was a crane, and it was fighting with a snake. And every time the crane went to eat the snake moved. And every time the snake went to bite the crane moved. And so the concept in Tai Chi is that if you yield and are soft in your body, you can resist like the willow and not be like the oak and crack.
Beautiful, beautiful. And then just a bit about encouragement to our viewers who may think they can't do this, they can't stand up straight, they don't have good balance. What would you say to them?
Starting with the first class, if people are interested, they should come and they should take a sample class. It's very excellent for balance. Most typically in the first class, I will show people how their balance can improve by putting a proper space between their feet and softening their knees and exhaling. And they're amazed at how much steadier they can be. And so what they learn from doing the classes is how to carry that through.
Okay. And you mentioned to me earlier that there is, they need to be able to at least walk well without a cane or a walker?
There are Tai Chi classes, and we do have a few students with canes and walkers, but there are Tai Chi classes that will exclusively work with that population.
Oh, wonderful.
But our classes, because we have a limited number that we can teach right now, we're teaching people who are ambulatory, so that if you can walk into our class, you are definitely able to learn the things we teach you.
Okay.
And it makes no difference how old you are when you start. You can start at 20, you can start at 50, you can start at 90. In fact, there's an old master in Shanghai who had a class of just 90-year-olds, and he said, those are my very best students. He says, they never missed, they're always diligent in their work, and they never knew how long they were going to be around, so they did a very good job of it.
Isn't that wonderful? Well, with that, let's take a look. This is going to be a big treat. Okay,
good.
Thank you.
This is the beginning of the Wu-style Tai Chi form. There are 108 motions in the form. Lift the top of the head, tongue on the roof of the mouth. Relax your shoulders, relax your chest, relax your breathing. Soften your knees, raise hands. Sink your elbows, palms down, fingertips up. sit. Shift your weight to the right. Tuck and take a step. Left hand up the center line to nose level. Right hand up the 45 to shoulder height. Windshield wiper. Hook the foot. Bend the knee onto the foot. Sink the elbow. Open to the wall. Back heel comes up. Turn on the ball of the foot. Get your gap. Touch the right wrist. Right palm up. Sink the elbow. Toe down. Onto the foot. Open to the left. Open to the right. On edge, sit back on the back heel. Hand in front. Toe up. Toe down. Onto the foot. Grasp. Hook the foot. Half step back. Open the toe. Shift. Palm strike at the end. Flatten the palms. Left palm up. Shift your weight to the left. Scoop with the right hand onto the ball of the foot. Heel. Windshield wiper. Toe down. Onto the foot. Feet together. Open. Right hand up. Left hand down. Bend at the waist. Look over your shoulder. Left hand up. Lean back. Face forward. Left hand on edge. Right hand facing you. Sit. Left hand out. Right heel out. Shift your weight to the right. Turn on your left heel. Okay, get your gap. Now, we're going to close up. Hands down. And round off. Thank you. Now, my wife Elaine will come up and talk about Qigong.
Thank you, Rosemarie. Well done. Qigong is energy work. We're going to stand in what's called a horse stance. We're going to sit, and we're going to put the left hand up and here. What this does is it connects the energy from the back of your spine, and it revitalizes the energy through your arms given the proper posture, which we work on in class. All right, exhale to the left. And the hips take our hands to the center. Exhale to the right and back to center. Exhale to the left and back to center. Let's pause and let's put our hands down. We're going to do one other form. This is very good for breathing technique. Again, horse stance, left palm up at dantian, right on top. The hip will take the hand to the corner, back to the side, palm strike and turn. Continue. This is very good for breathing, and if done with total linkage, which you start to learn from your beginning lesson, it helps you with your immune system, and it helps with the breathing. Let's pause in the center, palms down, shift to the right. Bring in the left leg and round off. We always round off because it's always easy on our heart, no matter how good our heart is. In Tai Chi, when we do a form where we're raising our energy, we always shift to the right because that's easiest on the heart, and we round off so that we're doing the best for our body.
Kidney stress?
Pardon?
Kidney stress?
Kidney is what I was thinking too.
Okay.
Good We're in agreement. That hasn't happened much between the two of us. Left palm up, right. Okay, shift to the left, hook the back toe, and the right stretches out. This is excellent for the kidney. Za. Shift to the right, hook the back toe, stretch. The stretch is right there underneath. Continue. There are few things that help the kidneys to work better, and this is one of the few type of exercises that exists, and it's lucky for us that it exists in this body of practice that makes up the Wu style Tai Chi. Go to the left, stretch. We're exhaling here, so everything has a breathing. Exhale and stretch to the kidneys. And let's pause at the center. And let's round off for a moment and do another one. Another Qigong that we do is good for the arms. Horse stance. Our hands are out in this position. We're tucking and raising the head and putting it in the proper position so our cervical vertebrae are in the correct position. Soft, all right. Fingertips forward of the hand. We're just moving the hand, and the hand in turn pulls over the arm, the elbows, and the shoulders. And then we gradually go back. We're inhaling on this. And as we go forward and turn over our shoulders, we're exhaling, always through the nose. All right. And come back and open and round off. Thank you for letting us show you a few things in Tai Chi.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful.
Thank you.
You're both a joy to have on. Thank you so much. I feel so much more calm just watching you. It's just beautiful. It is really beautiful. And it looks so easy. But I know, probably like with anything, it's easier than it looks if it's done well and done right. Correct?
True.
So, with that, we come to the end of our show, Aging Well in America. There are a lot of good things going on in the community, and we would love to learn more about them. Please send us your ideas, your thoughts, your concerns. You can send them here to the War Memorial. And for information on James and Elaine's classes, you can watch the ending credits. Thank you again.